Yo, Beth, that shit crazy.
On a Tuesday, it's All Even with your boy Barry Grant. You can catch me on Instagram and Twitter at All Even Podcast. You can listen to the show on Podbeam as well as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Deezer, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio. I'm all over the place, man. And trust me, go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment, because the page is growing, baby. That All Even wave. Get on that wave. Lots to get into. NFL, Aaron Rodgers is back. We're going to talk about the USA Olympics as well. It's all over the place. Chaos has broken out. The NBA offseason is here. We finally have a trade. What's Your Question is back, where I answer questions from my loyal fans if they're good. And then the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week. So let's just jump right into it. Mental health is a real thing, y'all. It affects everybody, whether you're working at the gas station, IHOP, professional athlete, mother of four, single, it doesn't matter. It affects everybody. And Simone Biles is no different than anybody else. Yes, she's a phenomenal athlete. She does things that we can't understand. She's just that great. But there's also another part to being great. It's the pressure to continue to be great. It's the demand of everybody. Everybody wants to have your picture. They want you here. They want you there. You got to be in this particular ad. You got to speak to this person. You got to do 1,000 interviews. You have to do book signings, autograph signings. All of those things are extremely stressful for an athlete. And in these times, this COVID era that we're living in, people have been in the house. There's anxiety going outside, not wanting to mingle with certain people or mingle at all. You have these athletes in Tokyo, and they're supposed to be performing at a high level, and there's an outbreak out there. So that is a part of it as well. And I see that there's criticism, and not from everybody, but obviously there's criticism. There's always going to be criticism when you're a big, high-profile athlete. Doesn't matter what you do, you'll be criticized. She's being criticized for, she has obligations to her country. She needs to play. All of this nonsense. And my thing is, I'd rather an athlete do this than do it the other way. Play through it, play poorly, get criticized and ridiculed and called a loser or a disappointment and all that stuff because the performance wasn't up to par. I'd rather an athlete tell me, you know what? I really just think I don't have it right now. I can't perform at a level right now because my mental state is not there. I'd rather that, because at least you're telling people, listen, if I go out there right now and perform, I'm not going to give you the level that you expect nor I expect. I respect that. So for anybody that's criticizing this young girl for taking the stance and making the decision that she did, y'all are weak for that. That's corny. Because mental health is a real thing. There's a lot of people that deal with it. Athletes are not exempt. Naomi Osaka, she went through it as well. Like, everybody got to understand that we in different times, man. This is not the 1970s where people just got up and did things and didn't understand what was going on with them mentally, and they just felt like, oh, okay, it's just a bad day. I just got the blues or something. Like, now we understand what's going on. So, kudos to Simone Biles for making that decision for herself. She never said that she was done. There's a possibility that she can come back. So, let her take her time and get right and then go out there and bust ass. The state of USA Olympics right now is in shambles. You got the men's basketball team, they're not doing so well. nobody's getting gold in other sports. It's not a good Olympics for the USA right now. So we just may have to just take this one on the chin and come back in 4 years and do something special, because this ain't it, man. This ain't it. But moving on. Aaron Rodgers has reported to camp, y'all. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers have finally negotiated a understanding that he's going to report to camp. He's going to report for the season. One last dance. I think they negotiated a contract where there's some voided years on the back end. Possibly this may be his last year in Green Bay, where he'll hit the open market in 2022. And man, is that going to be crazy. That is going to be crazier than when Tom Brady hit the open market. Not saying that Tom Brady's free agency wasn't great. It was full coverage. Everybody was all on it, but this is Aaron Rodgers, y'all. He's still in his prime. This is going to be something. There's going to be a lot of teams lined up for Aaron Rodgers, but that's way down the line. Let's focus on what this means for Green Bay right now. This has a domino effect, because little after that, Davante Adams, report says that he's willing to open up contract extension negotiations with the team again. All because he knows that Aaron Rodgers has done the same. He's reported to camp. Everything is fine. So you see how that works? You take care of the quarterback. Everybody else feels more secure. Everybody else wants to negotiate. That's the way to do it. Aaron Rodgers wants to be respected. His teammates want him to be respected. So that's a trickle-down effect, because if you disrespect the captain of the team, the face of your franchise, who am I? You're not going to respect me. So this is why Davante Adams took the stance that he took, and I respect that. I actually condone it, because the Green Bay Packers need to be forced into doing smart business. They haven't been doing smart business for years. That's their problem. So maybe you got to do business for them. I'm not against that. So what does this mean for them short term? Green Bay can actually look forward to the season. They can be title contenders again. They're trying to work out a deal, from what I'm hearing, for Randall Cobb to bring him back to Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers loved him. So, it's time to make nice with Aaron Rodgers. They're going to try to appease to him now. They understand exactly what he meant. Is it going to matter long term? Possibly not. They're getting all their ducks in a row this year to see if they can make a run at the Super Bowl and then part ways after that. I think that's the smartest thing to do. Go all in. Try to see if you can be able to win that title. And if you do, great. If you don't, then you know what the end result is going to be. You know what next year is going to look like. It's going to be tank time. It's going to be back to high draft pick time, that type of situation. Because I don't see Jordan Love being good anytime soon, if any, honestly. So we'll see. But kudos to my man Aaron Rodgers for showing up. I respect how he dragged out this entire process. I would have did the same thing. Make him sweat. Make him beg. Make him plead. Make him look terrible in the media. Because that's what they deserved. So shouts to my man 𝐥𝐤𝐤 for doing that. Moving on. Cornerback for the Miami Dolphins, Xavien Howard, has publicly requested a trade. He's had enough. Took to Twitter and really put it out there. Now, he didn't say anything disrespectful. It was a very formal, honest, candid tweet that he put out, or statement, if you will, that they've been negotiating. They haven't been negotiating in good faith, in his opinion. He's not even the highest paid cornerback on his team. His deal is just bad. He's outplayed that contract. He's one of the best cornerbacks in all of football. And he's right. So what is the solution here? Can the Miami Dolphins rectify this situation? Of course they can. They can be able to just pay him. That's what he wants. If you pay him and pay him handsomely, the way he wants to be paid, then he'll stay. If not, then it's time for him to go somewhere. His market is going to be vast. There's going to be so many teams that are out there that want his services. So what would a trade actually look like? If Miami would have actually put him on the block, what would they ask for? 2 firsts, a first, second, third? What teams would be willing to give up 2 firsts for Xavien Howard? I would say Green Bay. I would say Tampa. I would say every team that's pretty much considered a Super Bowl contender would say, you want him? Here. Because at the end of the day, guys like this don't fall off trees. He's a shutdown corner. He's legit. He's a ball hawk. All of those things that you want to associate with being a great corner, Xavien Howard does. So this is really unfortunate for the Dolphins. I believe that they were one of the surprise teams last season. Could be the surprise team again this season and possibly work their way up the AFC East. But having your best player axe out and air out the dirty laundry in regards to, the contract negotiations or the talks not really being in good faith, and there was might be some BS going on. I'm not speculating. I'm just going off of what he's saying. That's disheartening to hear. So hopefully they can be able to get this situation squared away. And when I mean squared away, I mean give him his money. Don't trade him. Negotiate in good faith and get a guy his money. Because at the end of the day, you can't replace a Xavien Howard in 2 years. You have to be damn lucky to find a guy like that late in the draft. You really have to be lucky. So when you got a guy like this, you got to hang on to him. This is why the Jets dealt with Darrelle Revis's, contract BS and back and forth for years, because they understood the player that he was. Risking losing him wasn't an option. You saw exactly what happened when one of the worst GMs in the last decade, 𝐥𝐤𝐬𝐷, traded away Darrelle Revis. Traded him, and look what happened. Went to the Bucs, went to the Pats, won a Super Bowl, came back. Should have just kept him. You should have just kept him and figured it out. You don't let guys like that slip away. You just don't. So, Dolphins, get it together. Moving on. Baseball trade deadline is approaching, and there's big questions that loom for my New York Mets. The Mets have split the last 2 games with the Braves. There was a doubleheader yesterday. They split that. They're getting killed right now. I think it was 10-1. And the reason for this is because there are glaring needs that the Mets have. Pitching is one. We have a lot of guys on the IL right now. DeGrom, Carrasco's coming back, Syndergaard. You got guys that are trying to make their way back slowly. You got, Seth Lugo. Didn't pitch too bad last night, but, there's a lot of question marks on this team. And is it time for the Mets to say, yes, go out there and go get Craig Kimbrell. Go give up our biggest prospect and go get that guy? Or is it maybe we should go get Chris Bryant? Or is it maybe we should go get Max Scherzer? What is the solution here? My opinion is get one of them. You can't strike out and get none. We've already seen Adam Frazier go to the Padres. We've seen moves being made. I'm hearing that the Rays are trying to get both Scherzer and Chris Bryant. If that happens, you might as well just not even play baseball for the rest of the season, because the Rays got it. The Mets have to do something, and do something big. They can't make any lateral moves or little splashes here and there. You need to throw the fat guy into the pool and make the big splash. That's what you got to do. It's not that time to be complacent. You're in first place. If you want to hang on to being in first place, you got to make some big moves because the Braves are coming. The Phillies are coming. These teams are not going to stay bad for the whole season. You got to understand that. The Mets being in first place right now, yes, they're a good team. They're a very gritty team, gutsy team. But let's keep it 100. The NL East has been trash. And we can't expect the NL East to be trash for the rest of the season. There's a lot of baseball to be played. So you have to do something. You have to do something now. Don't wait. Get on the phone, call the Cubs, and say, how much for 2 of those? What's going to take for 2 of those? That's what you need to do. That's what's going to put you in position to be a World Series contender. Could you imagine DeGrom, Cindy comes back, whether it's in the bullpen or the starting rotation? You got Chris Bryant, you got Pete Alonso, Lindor coming back. All of these things, this is what you can be able to look forward to. But if you don't make a move, you're going to watch all these other teams do that, and then what? Say, oh, well, we'll wait until free agency to sign them. Why? Why wait? Strike now. Strike now. So that's what I want to see happen. I need the Mets to be able to make a deal now. Don't wait. Moving on to the NBA. We have our first big trade of the offseason in regards to draft picks and maneuvering. The Memphis Grizzlies and the New Orleans Pelicans made a trade. Pelicans send the number 10 and the number 41 to the Grizzlies for the number 17, the number 50. Eric Bledsoe is on the move. Giannis Valanciunas is on the move. Steven Adams is on the move. So Adams is on the Grizzlies. Valanciunas is going to the Pelicans. So who do I think won this trade? I believe that the Grizzlies slightly won this trade, all because they got the extra first-round pick from the Pelicans for 2022. So that makes sense for them. But it's a good trade for both sides. For the Pelicans, they free up a ton of money. They got rid of Steven Adams' crazy contract. They got rid of Eric Bledsoe's $18 million deal. So they freed up a ton of space because rumor has it, David Griffin is trying to make a big play for Kyle Lowry. How that's going to work and how he's going to try to convince Kyle to go there when Kyle has a ton of other suitors to go to. Kyle can go to Philly. Kyle can go to the Lakers. Kyle can go back to Toronto. Kyle can go to the Knicks. Why would he want to go to the Pelicans? There's also another rumor that the Pelicans may be shopping Brandon Ingram. So why would he go there with a team that's void of talent other than Zion? Doesn't make sense. So I'm curious to see exactly what the Pelicans do, but I don't see them landing any big free agents. It's the Pelicans. It's not gonna work. What are we talking about here? They're one step away from being NBA Siberia. We all know where that is. That's in Sacramento. But they're not too far off. So, I get the plan. I get the enthusiasm by David Griffin. I get the excitement and the anticipation of free agency. Ain't gonna happen for y'all though. Not gonna happen. For the Grizzlies, they get a veteran big. Obviously, Jonas is a different player. He's a better player than Steven Adams is. Steven Adams may be a better offensive rebounder, but this can actually be better for Ja Morant in regards to the pick and roll, bigger body, guy that can be able to flash to the rim, average defender in regards to a big. So it's not a bad move. It's really not a bad move. And Eric Bledsoe, I'm hearing, is not staying in Memphis. So he's going to be bought out or traded. And that makes sense for them because there's no fit there. There's no natural fit for Eric Bledsoe. He's older. I think Bledsoe's about 31 or so. So he's going to want to compete for a championship. I can honestly say that the Lakers may be a fit for him because clutch client, him and LeBron have a great relationship. If he's bought out and he signs at the vet min, the Lakers don't have to pay him or take on that salary. It's a seamless transition. It's a seamless fit. So I can see that happening. So watch that as well. But, I think that both teams fared pretty well in the trade. I think that they did well. Both teams got exactly what they wanted. The Grizzlies move up. Obviously, they look like they're eyeing a player at 10. So we'll see who they bring in. Maybe they bring in a 3-and-D guy, another guy that can be able to stretch the defense because they had decent shooting this year, but you always need more shooting in the NBA. You can never have enough shooting in the NBA. So let's see what happens. I'm going to do a draft special with my man 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞 tomorrow. It's going to be interesting. We're going to do the entire first round. So look out for that. Mike is going to have some over-the-top nonsense. I'm already anticipating it. I'm already anticipating it. Moving on. There's more rumors that are swirling around. The Buddy Hield rumors to LA, they're getting hot and heavy. I'm hearing that the Sacramento Kings are thinking about Montrezl Harrell as an option. But if he opts in, taking him and 𝐥𝐤𝐳 can get the deal done because they would like to move on from Buddy as well. Both parties want to move on from each other, so that would be a good trade. I think that would be a very good trade for the Kings because they can possibly lose Rashard Holmes in free agency. The Marvin Bagley experiment, I think that's over. So if they can be able to get Montrezl Harrell there as their starting center or backup center, that's what they're looking for. He can add scoring, toughness. Yes, he's undersized, but everybody knows that he's undersized. And when you're playing for Sacramento, it's not like they have playoff aspirations anyway. So he can be able to log a lot of minutes, get a lot of tick, and renegotiate and get a big contract for himself in free agency or a big contract from the Kings. Who knows? So I'm definitely interested in that trade. Plus, you already know how I feel about 𝐜𝐤𝐤𝐞. Once the deal is done and there's breaking news across my ticker, my phone, if I'm on Twitter, I'm throwing an Instagram live party. I did it for the Clippers. I did it for the Nets losing. I'm going to throw a 𝐜𝐤𝐤𝐻 see ya later bye-bye party. It's going to be great. It's going to be great because I've wanted this guy traded since he got there. Since he's gotten to LA, I've wanted 𝐜𝐤𝐤𝐻 traded. So we're on the cusp of it. I'm excited. Keep the rumors coming. Anything that's involved 𝐜𝐤𝐲, I'm reading. I'm reading it because I just want more rumors out there, more players attached, more teams inquiring. I'm even hearing that the Lakers may even move up in the draft and teams are inquiring about 𝐜𝐤𝐲. Yes, take him. Give us the 10th pick. Give us the 11th pick. Take him. Take him. That's the way I'm looking at it. KCP, he got to stay. THT, he got to stay. But 𝐜𝐤𝐲, you can have him. You can also take a $25 gift card to Applebee's or, Olive Garden. You can take a gym bag, whatever, $1,000 off, your next purchase, like something. Just sweeten the pot because he needs to go. In some real feel-good news, though, Barack Obama has partnered with NBA Africa. He's become a minority owner in the venture, and, that's exciting stuff. Obama's a great man, great motivator, inspirational, and, he's going to do a lot of great things over there for those kids, for the players, just growing that brand, building that community and creating that pipeline that's been really, really fruitful in the NBA, man. So shouts to Obama for that. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of this. I know that greatness is going to come out of it because, my man Barack is down there. doing his thing. We're gonna make sure that things are going well down here. And shouts to my man Obama, man. That's my guy. Coming up after the break, what's your question? Where I answer emails or DMs, and hopefully the questions are good, because if they're not, I'm gonna let y'all have it on a Tuesday night. It's all even.
Yo, it's your man DJ G Money from that Flip the Script podcast. You see it? We in the studio right now. Flip, shut up. Yeah. Oh, listen. Shout out to the All Even Podcast. My man Barry Grant Jr. What's up, man? What happened? What you want to say to the people?
Shout out somebody else's podcast?
Yeah, my nigga the joint. What's up?
All Even.
All Even Podcast.
Yo, it ain't even up here, boy. We put this what's up, man? All Even. Yo, oh my God. What's up with you, man? Now that's a shout out. You keeping this?
Yeah, keep all that. You want to jump
All
in the
Even
camera?
Podcast, right?
Yeah, All
Shout out
Even.
to All Even Podcast, right? All Even? That's your man?
My man.
All right, shout out to All Even Podcast.
100%. He cool. Is he cool? Let me see. Is he cool?
Yeah. What is it, G? Oh. Shout out, G.
Welcome back, y'all. So now let's get to the segment, What's Your Question?, where I answer emails or DMs of questions from the All Even Wave and see what they got to say. Hopefully it's something good. So let's get to the first one. The first one is written to All Even Podcast Radio at gmail.com. It's from Reggie from Staten Island. Reggie says, big fan of the show. With the NFL season coming up and the Giants having Saquon Barkley back, what is a realistic finish in your opinion? Good question, Reggie. See that you're a Giants fan, obviously, because you live in Staten Island. But that's neither here nor there. Saquon coming back is a good thing for the Giants. Can he work himself into being a top 3, top 4 back this year? It's possible. The Giants' offensive line is not that bad. But a realistic finish for them, if everything breaks well, I can say the Giants finish in second place in the division. I say they can go, if everything breaks well, 10-7. If everything doesn't break well, I can see them going 7-10. They're not a bad team. It's just that we have to see what Mr. Daniel Jones is going to do this year. With those preschool hands that he has trying to hold on to the football. We'll see what happens. But, they have the weapons. They have good talent on the team. Saquon is back, like I said. The defense is coming around. The offensive line is definitely coming around. Joe Judge is a good coach. So they have the pieces there, but can the quarterback deliver? It's a lot of pressure on that guy this year. So, like I said, if everything breaks well, 10-7 for the Giants, and that means that that's a second-place finish for them. Next question also is going to come to the All Even Podcast Radio at gmail.com. Gloria from Brooklyn, she writes, I love basketball and I love the Dream Team. What happened to the U.S. sending their best players to play? I can't watch this team. Is there any way they can have guys join late and help? Shouts to Gloria for the question. Thank you for that. Listen, I've been a big proponent of sending the best guys. Like, if you can't send the best guys to play for Team USA, then send the kids. Let the kids play. But don't keep sending these mediocre teams, and then when the mediocre teams don't perform well, everybody's shocked. Like, oh, how are they losing to this person? How are they losing to this country? They're not that good. And the other countries are pretty much on the same level as them because they have NBA players. They have mediocre NBA players. They have decent NBA players. They have great or good NBA players. So it's not a shock. Now, to answer your other question, can they, get guys to join the team late and help? I don't think so. I think that they had to be on the roster already. And, just like Jrue Holiday and Devin Booker and those guys, they were already, assigned to the team. So because they were playing in the NBA Finals, that's why they didn't join the team earlier. So in that situation, yes, it works. But for Steph Curry to just wake up tomorrow and say, I want to go play for Team USA. For LeBron James to say, all right, let me go help Team USA out and see what's up. For Dwayne Wade to say, all right, I'm going to go play for USA. That's not how it works. So, unfortunately, that's not how it works, because if it was that case, then, they'd be out there and they would help this team and help them tremendously. But that's not the case, and Team USA will be lucky to medal. Lucky to medal. Thank you for the question, Gloria. Appreciate it. Next question comes into Gmail again, 𝐿EvenPodcastRadio@gmail.com. Sam from Massapequa writes, the Yankees need to blow it up. As a Mets fan, should we ask them about Gleyber Torres? Mauricio for Gleyber. And who we need more than anyone out there. Okay, it's a poorly written email, but I know exactly what you're trying to say. You said, do you think that we should go after Gleyber Torres in regards to the Mets? Not a bad trade, honestly. I believe that Gleyber Torres could definitely be a fit. He's a great young player. Yes, he's struggling this year. Yankee fans are definitely down on him. The power is not there, but sometimes a change of scenery can help. And when you have a guy like Ronnie Mauricio in the farm system for the Mets, you can be able to give them Mauricio, take Gleyber, and that'd be a decent swap in my opinion. You could be able to move Gleyber around, and I think that would work. That's not a bad trade. That's actually not a bad trade. It's a good one. And then the other part of that question is, who do we need more than anyone else out there? Chris Bryant. Chris Bryant is the guy. Go get him. Yes, he's a free agent after the season. You go get him, you lock him up. Go get him and lock him up. He's a great player. Do it. That's the guy we need. Yeah, Craig Kimbrell is fine. You got other guys. All right, yeah. No. Chris Bryant is the guy. I need the Mets to listen. Go get Chris Bryant. That's who's going to solve these problems for us, especially hitting-wise when we're not hitting. You get a guy like Chris Bryant in that lineup, that makes Pete Alonso better. That's going to make Lindor better when he's there. That may wake up Michael Conforto's dead bat. So there's a lot of pluses to that move. You got to get Chris Bryant. So thank you for the question, Sam. I appreciate it. I'll take one more. Let me see what's going on here. Okay, we have Craig from Long Beach, California. Big fan of the show, Barry. I definitely want to ask you about Kyle Kuzma. Here we go. I understand that he's been criticized a lot through the media and with Laker fans. But what happens if Kyle Kuzma turns into a superstar? Are we going to regret not keeping him around and having him unlock his potential here? It's a joke. You can be able to think you're going to win a big game at blackjack, and you're at the blackjack table and you got the cards in your hands. Like, if I pluck this next one, I think I'm going to win. And you end up losing all your money. There's a possibility that you can win some money, but there's also a big possibility that you would lose your money. It's just not in the cards for you, right? That's Kyle Kuzma. If Kyle Kuzma turns into the next Kobe Bryant, let him. But he can do it in NBA Siberia. He's not doing it on the Lakers. I could care less what Kyle Kuzma turns into, as long as he's gone out of my sight, off the Lakers, out of the building, out of the city, the town. Go somewhere else. If you want to be a star and dye your hair purple or blonde and wear all types of weird-ass uniforms and clothes to the game, do it. Do all of it. Just don't do it in a Lakers uniform. Don't do it while you're representing the Los Angeles Lakers. I hope that Kyle Kuzma proves everybody wrong, including myself. I hope that what he says, that he's going to be the next big-time scorer and he can score an average 30 points a game in the NBA if given the opportunity. I hope all of that comes true. Whether it be in the G League or, for one of the worst teams in the league, hey, anything's possible if given the opportunity. If I would have got the opportunity, maybe I would have been LeBron James. I'd have been a 5'8" LeBron James. Who knows? Who knows? I don't guarantee much. I don't, I'm not a genie. I'm not a wizard. I'm not a fortune teller. But I can tell you this. 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐿 ain't turning into no damn Kobe Bryant. He ain't turning into no superstar. I've seen a lot of basketball in my life. I've seen a lot of low IQ basketball players. He's one of them. And normally, those guys end up being the guys that you think they are. Just like the late, great Dennis Green, R.I.P. They are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook. So, no, Craig, no. I'm not worried about it. If you are as a Laker fan, then, you really need to evaluate some things. But thank you for the question, though. I appreciate it. That is all for What's Your Question. I appreciate the All Even Wave. I appreciate y'all, the constant support. Just keep sending your questions in, and I'll definitely answer them. We'll have fun with it. So definitely appreciate y'all. And next week, hopefully, I'll get some good ones again. Coming up after the break, the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week, on a Tuesday night. It's All Even.
This is 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐞, gents and gals. Just want to give a shout out to All Even Podcast, the best sports podcast out there. Keep up the amazing work. Also check us out at 𝐤𝐤𝐤𝐼𝐚𝐧𝐭.com. We're everyday apparel for cigar smokers. Let's get it.
What's going on? What's up with you? It's your boy, the Candyman, the ALFRE to the D. It's your boy, Alfred from the Rap Lab Podcast.
And it's the one and only True G. Just call me the QG from the Rap Lab Podcast.
And you tuned in to All Even with Barry Grant.
Boy, that shit crazy.
Welcome back, y'all. So without further ado, the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
We pick candidates on Tuesday and Saturday, and then we pick the winner on that Saturday show. So who is my candidate for Dummy of the Week? May I have the drum roll, please? And the candidate is the Washington football team. And not the organization. Maybe I should put them in there as well, but the players. It's just the players. The Washington football team players are my candidate for
Dummy, yeah.
Because, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the NFL has said that they need the COVID vaccinations for your team to be past 85%. Do you want to know where the Washington football team's percentage is? It's in the 60s. 60% of their players have taken the vaccine. And that's not the bad issue. It's the fact that they have an outbreak. There's guys getting COVID left and right. And poor Ron Rivera is upset. He's frustrated and he doesn't know what to do. Highly, highly upset. He went public with it and said that he's furious. Because guess what? Although these players, they have their stance, they don't want to do the vaccination and all that, okay, cool. But just like I said before, if you don't want to take the vaccine, fine. The NFL is not forcing you to do that. But what they're telling you is that you need to be responsible. So according to Ron Rivera, according to the NFL, according to the sources that we've seen, is that Washington football team players are not being responsible because COVID is running rampant. But here's the best part of it, is that their head coach is immune deficient. He had cancer. He's battling it. He's in remission. And they can't even respect the man that is supposed to lead them. Every time you try to give this organization or this franchise some slack, they just bring you right back. They just bring me right back into a dark place. This is what I'm saying, is that COVID is contagious and infectious, so is being an idiot. So is being a dummy. It's just spreading around like wildfire in the Washington football team organization. Hope to God that Ron Rivera doesn't catch it. He's a smart man. Good dude. But man, these players don't get it. And they're possibly in danger of being the first team to get their games taken away. Could you imagine if the Washington football team starts the season 0-7 all because they can't get their players to do the right thing in regards to protocol, in regards to this vaccine protocol or the virus protocol? They would be 0-7 to start the season because they can't find anybody to play. Oh, man. Anytime I get to poke fun at Dan Snyder and his dysfunctional franchise, I will do it. It's only sad that Ron Rivera has to be a part of it. I really apologize for that, Ron, but I got to get you too. You took the job. I don't know why you thought that being a part of this dumpster fire organization would salvage your career. It's better to be unemployed than work for the Washington football team. I'll be honest with you. It's just the way it is. Just the way it is. So, my solution is for the Washington football team is that you better have some replacement players that are just waiting in the wings. Call 𝐥𝐤𝐞, call everybody. You know, the guys that work at the CVS, the Home Depot, the guys that are at the field that they're just playing flag football. Y'all need to be scouting everybody that's in the DC area. Just scout everyone because you're going to need it. Because I can guarantee that the Washington football team will be losing a lot of games this season, and not because they can't perform on the field. It's because they can't get on the field. So Washington football team players, Joe Gibbs is not running through that door, so you can forget about ever winning a Super Bowl anytime soon. But you guys are winners, possible winners for Dummy of the Week. That's all for this show. I'll see you guys on Saturday. Until then, stay safe, stay cool. Peace. You can catch me on Instagram and Twitter at All Even Podcast. Listen to the show on Podbeam, Amazon Music, Spotify, and wherever you find your podcasts available. And check out my YouTube channel, All Even Podcast. And don't forget to like, share, and hit that subscribe button.